Namaste everybody. Today in this special episode, let's understand how do we effectively handle teenagers at home. I'm sure handling teenagers is one of the biggest challenges for parents. And yes, sometimes it is extremely difficult to understand what's really running in their mind. We wish we could have a magic wand where we could decipher all those emotions and feelings that they're going through. But you know what? The teenager herself or himself is way too confused about what exactly are they undergoing deep inside their mind or hearts because there's so much happening, the chemical rush, the hormonal changes, the mindset that is trying to fix itself on a particular experience. There are so many things, the urge to know everything about the world, the tendency to attract and impress people, wanting to achieve multiple things, the pressure the parents are putting on them is all definitely not easy for a teenager also to handle. So today, let us see how effectively, how calmly, how positively we can get into a better position as parents to handle them. First and foremost, you should never hesitate to speak your heart out. Yes, sometimes children resist such conversations. They say, don't start off with your lecture again. I'm not interested in your gnan. Or you always irritate me with too much information. But then there's a way out. You can call out for help. You can seek assistance of some person who is good at doing counseling to teenagers, or maybe a good family friend with whom your child shares a comfortable space. But most of the times, it is definitely possible if you prepare yourself and you know what exactly has to be conveyed to the child to verbally or orally articulate your deep feelings and help the child also reap its benefits. Well, today in this episode, I'll tell you few mandatory things that has to be conversed. And I often keep telling pre-preparations are always better. You cannot handle a situation when it is heated up. In that tension and stress and panic, where everybody is disturbed, you can't really create a change abruptly. So, when you know that your child is almost about to get into that bracket of being a teenager, then you should always be open to prepare your own self to get into that caliber, that personality, or that maturity to give appropriate information to the child. So, first thing is definitely helping the child know how the body is going to change from that phase. Most often, the child feels a real different or a weird sort of feeling about the body changes that the girl or the guy is undergoing. So it could be that little difference the girl sees in her breast or her curves, or that boy when he's looking at his mustache, or those pimples on his cheeks when he's way too conscious to face the world. So tell them that it's normal, the body shifts, changes, the voice changes, and probably the comfort at which he or she is connected with the parent might also change. So tell them that it is absolutely fine for their vehicle, that is their divine body, to go through this shift, and it is not awkward, it is not dirty, it is not a shame to grow from that little chubby, cute boy or that graceful girl to get into that matured look. Most often, parents do not understand that the bodily changes the parents see with pride, my child is growing up, may not be of the same feeling to the teenager. That's one thing. Now, second thing, most of the parents hesitate to talk about is the sudden shift in certain thoughts, like the sudden sexual urge, the attraction towards other guys or girls, the shyness that comes in into the body, the conversations that come up between friends and they don't know how to reconcile their other thoughts with this, the guilt which comes along, the hiding that they want to do from their parents about having such conversations. So parents are way too shy to talk about it, and children feel that this is the topmost secret that they want to maintain with their parents. But without losing the beauty of the conversation, without having to get into the vulgarity of it, if you can develop the art of conversing with a child as to what this phenomena is all about and how the body will have a natural increased peak tendency towards such thoughts or information, and how it has to be handled appropriately, it is very difficult for the child also to know what has to be done about it. Please do not initiate this conversation by saying, don't get into those vulgar things and dirty things, you are my son, don't be a disgrace to this family, blah, blah, blah. The child is opening up to a new information, which at a later stage in life is very important, of course. So if you tag them as dirty and vulgar, tomorrow when you want the child to be in a good relationship with a guy or girl during marriage or during that relationship, the child will definitely resist and will have other challenges. So do not use hard terms and terminologies, but just tell them that it is not the right time to investigate deeper, to dive in deeper. Rather, channel the energy into something else, to ground, to vent it out. It could be sports or art or anything else, any other spiritual sadhana that you want to teach the child, so that the energy is channeled in the right way and the child is not confused about the sudden urge, the rush of energy that's coming in. This is something that every parent should openly talk about. And the third thing, which I give utmost importance to, is the feeling of comparison and competition. Well, here, my dear friends, most of the parents are at fault because they tell the child that look at your fellow mate, look at your friend. He is also getting the same comfort and facility as you are. How is that he or she is able to gain more marks or become that lead in that whatever sports group or academic group or community? Instead, make some fruitful conversations, give them about 5-10 minutes at least once in a month to tell them that you cannot succeed by competing with another person because we are all unique in our own way. Tell the child to identify the individual uniqueness the child bears and how the child has to be with a feeling of blessing, appreciation, and derive inspiration from their fellow mate if at all the child feels that somebody is overtaking the child and this race is in real not there at all. So tell them that nobody is a threat or a competition and the child need not compare her looks or academic performance or whatever other things with another child, and be okay with what talent, what uniqueness the child has, and to groom himself or herself and become better than competing with their own self. This conversation is very important because even if you don't know, even if the child has never told you that I'm jealous of my friend or I feel low because of other people doing better than me, there will be these thoughts which is very normal for anybody, which we have all also undergone as a teenagers, isn't it? So tell them how to handle this part of their life effectively. And finally, my dear friends, I know it is a little embarrassing to hug a teenager, to pat their back, to rub their back, to give them a letter of appreciation, to hold their hands, because the child also wants to shoo you away, say, oh, Mama, don't touch me, it's okay. But then do not disconnect from such gestures. Child often wants to go, hit the room, bang the door, slam it on your face. But then you have to have that endurance. This is your testing time, my dear parents. You have to have that endurance and patience to go back and say, it's okay. It's fine, I understand what you're going through. But then you know what? I don't want to miss on that special moment of hugging you, of holding your hand, of giving you a thank you note, of both of us giving a thank you note to your daddy or your mother. So this is that catalyst period where if you have a little patience and ensure that few qualities are fed into the mind of the teenager, this is going to run a very long way in their life. Of course, there will be a lot of resistance, but these etiquettes are going to be of great service to them, more than their academic performance, trust me on this. Well, these 4 aspects are tiny little things that as parents you can do, but can bring about a great change in their attitude. Do let me know which one was your favorite. And if you have any doubts, do not hesitate to put them on the comment box. I will see you again in the next special episode on Douglas Therapy. Thank you so much for watching. Namaste.